Homer was obsessed with Thad, a competitive eating streamer who happened to be coming to Springfield to challenge Luigi's giant meatball. Homer was thrilled. On the day of the challenge, all the fatty in Springfield gathered at the scene, screaming as they welcomed Thad, but he was in poor form. Taking a bite, he barely made a dent in the meatball. It turned out the streamer had filmed 40 episodes of his eating show in just 2 months, completely exhausting his body. Homer felt sorry for him, but his sadness didn't last long. Curious why someone so capable of eating had collapsed, Homer asked Thad, who explained he'd been hospitalized 3 times that month. Doctors diagnosed him with anorexia. He'd never be able to eat heartily again. Unwilling to see Thad quit the eating show industry, Homer took him to his secret base, where the scent of home-cooked meals from every household in Springfield filled the air. Astonished, Thad asked how it worked, and Homer immediately launched into a mini science lesson. As a food streamer, Thad had an acute sense of smell and could distinguish any food's aroma. Stimulated by the smells, he fell in love with food again, except for one scent he couldn't identify. Driven by curiosity, the two wandered Springfield for dozens of laps and finally locked onto a mansion that looked familiar to Homer. When Fat Tony answered the door, he looked confused. Homer warned Thad the place was dangerous, but Thad only cared about what was simmering inside. Fat Tony revealed the stew had a complicated backstory. Back when Italian gangsters didn't control Springfield, 2 gangs swapped children as collateral for peace, sending Fat Tony to the Williams family. Most gang headquarters were restaurants, but the Williams' eldest son had no interest in inheriting the business. Instead, Mr. Williams noticed Fat Tony chopping vegetables and grew fond of him over 4 years while drifting apart from his own son. Determined to pass down the secret recipe, Mr. Williams made Fat Tony his heir. This is Prussian stew, telling them to turn around for the final step. After tasting it, both agreed it was delicious. Inspired, Thad decided to switch gears and start a show exposing others' secret recipes. For the first episode, he planned to reveal Fat Tony's stew recipe. Terrified for his life, Homer panicked. Fat Tony warned Homer the Prussians already knew the truth. He was going to die. Homer tried to curry favor, but Fat Tony ignored him. Desperate to survive, Homer sent Fat Tony a text. Once he climbed up, Homer insisted they still had time to stop the recording. The show wouldn't air for a week. As Thad's diehard fan, he knew Thad's whereabouts like the back of his hand. Pressured by Fat Tony, Thad confessed everything. Fat Tony figured destroying the recording glasses would solve the problem, but the Prussians were already hiding nearby. Forced to flee, Fat Tony took a shortcut, but couldn't shake his pursuers. Suddenly, Homer grabbed the steering wheel and led them to his secret base. The Prussians caught a whiff of a familiar scent. When the show aired, everyone learned to make the stew. The familiar aroma reminded the Prussian man of his father. He realized if the recipe lived on, his father would too. With the crisis resolved, Thad thanked Homer by offering him a spot on the show, but Homer admitted he had a secret. He couldn't leave Springfield just yet.